This Hangout on air is now live. Hello, viewers. Thank you for your patience. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but we are going to be going over GoPro once more. Chapter 9, especially if you're in a leadership position or if you've gotten your first distributor and you're kind of like, what do I do now? We talked about where we started with the beginning of this book and being a network marketing professional, how you go from being a poser to an amateur to a professional, some of the traits and characteristics and some of the reasons why the new economy network marketing is just better. And then we went into how to get prospects. How do I talk to people? How do I get people to want to join my team? How do I get people to want to shop on my website? Just different wording and things like that. How to follow up, techniques on that. Okay, so all of the things that we learned are very, very important. And the most important thing is one of the greatest things that he said in this entire book is make sure you're doing things that are duplicatable, right? So when you've learned all these, tips and tools, you're supposed to be able to transfer them to your distributors. And also, you're supposed to be able to transfer these things. So this chapter in chapter 9 is basically how you get the ball rolling once you sign up people. And it's very important that you do this because it kind of starts the momentum. And he even says chapter, some people, if they start off good, they'll just keep going. They need to get that first customer. They need to get that first, a secure maybe about this business, or maybe feeling a little bit um, insecure about, doing network marketing. Okay. Deanna, can you mute your phone? It sounds like you're listening to church music in the background. Okay, there we go. All right. So, helping your new distributors get started. All right, so in this chapter, he talks about game plan interviews. I just signed up Sherry the first day I talked to her. She started her account. She's got her website. She doesn't really know what to do. What are some of the things that I should tell her? What are some of the tools that I should give her? Game plan interview. That's what he calls it. I'm going to start calling it GPIs, and I'm going to actually do my first GPI tomorrow for new distributors. And then every week I'm going to be doing GPIs. So this is just something that I'm taking out of this book. It's going to be open for anyone who has a new distributor or any of my new distributors. First thing you're going to do is validate their decision to become a distributor. Say things like, congratulations on making the decision. I'm proud of you for taking charge of your life. From now on, things are going to be different for you and for your family. You're giving them that positive reinforcement because they're still kind of like, oh, was this a good choice? I don't know if I should spend that $99. That might have been my last $99, but you want to kind of give them that positive encouragement. So that's the first thing that you're going to do. The GPI part 2, you set their expectation. A lot of people come into network marketing with unrealistic expectations. They think you're going to be a millionaire in a year. Some people think, oh, well, I worked for 2 days and I didn't sell nothing, so it ain't for me. Well, let me get that out of your mind before you even get started. And one of the things that you definitely want to tell them is if you succeed in this business, it's because you put in the work and you put in the effort, and that's why you succeeded. If you fail in this business, it's going to be you who creates that failure. Another thing you're going to say is you're going to be the difference between success and failure. I'm here as your upline. I'm here to guide you every step of the way, but I can't do it for you. Once you go ahead and clear the air with that whole thing, you'll be a lot more successful with leading your distributors because they'll understand. She told me from the get-go I can't blame her. She let me know, or he let me know from the beginning, that this is not a situation to where I can just blame. This is not an employee-employer thing like when we have a normal job, a 9 to 5. I can say, well, my boss told me to do it, so that's why the whole restaurant burnt down. No, you can't blame anyone but yourself because this is your business. I'm here to guide you, but I'm not here to work it for you. And another thing is, what kind of expectation do you think that, like that sets for your new distributor? When you let them know that it's all on them, you're here to help them. I'm here to, help you, but I'm not here to work your business. That gives them a different mindset starting off. But one of the things that he said that he did, Eric Worre did, which was a mistake, he would start off by saying, hey, I get paid from what you produce, so essentially I work for you. And he was like, what do you think that put in their mind? That, we are going into business together, when that wasn't really true. They're going into business. This is them buying into their own business. They're going to be running it themselves. You're just there for support. The next thing that you should definitely talk to your distributors and say, or the new people that are joining you, is my job is to help you become as independent from me as quickly as possible. And then you ask, do you agree that's a good idea? So a lot of people may disagree with this, but I think it's very important. And I got that tip from Jeree and Chad Kneller, which are some of our top earners in this company. And I sat there and I asked them one day at a One Team One Nation, I was like, hey, I feel like I'm crazy, but am I tripping? And, I don't really know what I should say. And one of the things that they told me was that they tell their distributors in the first day, in the first 72 hours, I want you to get those 4 loyal customers. And this is what they said they've been doing. The first 72 hours, go get those 4 loyal customers. That's the task that they gave them. And then they said if they notice that the person just went out and did it, that was a runner, that's somebody that you can get closer to kicking out of the nest. And that's exactly how they put it. So I want to make you as independent from me as possible. I want to give you as much information as you need to independently run your business without relying on me. Now, yes, we're One Team One Mission. We're here to support each other. I'll boost your posts. I'll come support you when you host a wrap party and stuff like that. But I'm not going to run your business for you. I will not be the person that's filling in your spaces of your chart. If your chart is for me to promote and I happen to put someone there, got it, great. That was a plus, but it's not something that you hold on to. When you have that, or when you set the tone for that, like I said, it's going to alleviate a lot of drama down the road. And I thought that was really important. Game plan interview part 3. Getting started checklist. Now, this is something that I just did. I signed up 3 distributors in the past week or so, and I did this getting started checklist. You want to give them some things to do. What he says is a getting started checklist to help a new person have the best chance for success. The exact plan would be different for every company, but the concept was to do everything possible to get quick results. Here are some examples of what you could include in your getting started checklist. Make sure your new distributor is set up with the appropriate products. Okay, your products are going to be coming in 7 to 10 business days. You know that. You're going to get a box of wraps. You're going to get defining gel. One of the things that you can do with your new person is explain to them what they're getting. Show them where they can find the product breakdown in your eSuite, the product training. You could show them how to go into their eSuite and find the documents. You can show them how they can go onto their website and sign up loyal customers. This is setting them up for success and giving them tools. Make sure your new distributor has the appropriate tools, like I just said. Make sure your new distributor gets connected. All right, getting connected is very, very important because as we all know, everybody on the outside thinks we're crazy. So your mom, your cousin, your neighbors, all your randoms, the people that you actually work with in your 9 to 5, they think network marketing is crazy. They think it works as a scam. It's all a pyramid scheme. There are some people that are going to be coming at you really crazy in your first couple of days in joining this business. What you want to do for your new distributors is give them a way to talk to other distributors. What we have with our team is chat groups. We got 1 million chat groups. We got the Facebook pages. We got the training groups. We have these trainings that we're doing right now. This is really important. As soon as you sign up someone, say, hey, this is your upline. I'm your upline. I'm here to help you. But guess what? I have an upline. This is her. And she has an upline. This is her. And we all fall under Susan, who falls under Melody, who's at the top. Like, give them a way to see, everybody's not going to relate to me that I sign up. Everyone's not going to relate to Kanitha that she signs up. Sometimes we switch and swap different people that they feel more comfortable with, and that's perfectly okay. But if they don't know I exist, or they don't know that the Facebook page exists, or they don't know that the event that's happening down the street in their neighborhood exists, then they're not welcome. Thing that you definitely want to do. Make sure your new distributor has a basic understanding of the compensation plan. Now, our compensation plan is kind of complicated. It's not really, but once you understand it, like now I kind of get it, but in the beginning it can be complicated. But if they understand 4 loyal customers in your first 30 days, loyal customers, this is the percentage I make off of them. And then, going Ruby, getting your 5, they understand the steps to success, and you gave that to them. You're giving them the basics of our compensation plan. You don't have to go all the way into detail of the triple diamond cab bonus, because, why are we talking about that right now? Let's take baby steps. Make sure your new distributor has fundamental understanding of how to properly invite their prospects. We just learned ourselves how to properly invite prospects. So it's key that you pass that knowledge on. Like, hey, let me show you some messages that I send. Hey, these are some great ways to talk to people about the business. And I did this today. I sent out like 15 before and after pictures to one of my new distributors so she could have something to post. Hey, this is a good message that I sent. I got a lot of feedback from it, or I got a lot of hits off of this. So that's something that you definitely want to do. GPI Part 4. Help the new distributor create a game plan to get through the first few ranks and challenge them to do it quickly. Okay, so he's talking about one of his mentors in this business. He says he understood and helped me to understand that it was a race to help the person get results quickly. That's what I was telling you. Getting them a loyal, helping them sign their first loyal, showing them how to go ahead and seal the deal with their first distributor. Those are small accomplishments, but they're really big for a new person. If they received early positive reinforcement, they'd continue. If they didn't receive early positive reinforcement, they had a tendency to fade away. Every company is different, so the game plan will also be different. But think about simple actions that you can encourage people to take during their first week to get the best results. How can they get their first customer? Can you encourage them to attend their first company event? So one of the things that I'm going to do with my GPI on Tuesday is to talk to my new distributors and say, hey, you're in Texas, you're in North Carolina, and where's the other girl? Belgium. These are the next events that are happening in your area. There's one that will be held in, Mississippi. This is not too far from you. There's one that's going to be held in Charlotte. I'm showing them, hey, check this out. This is where you can find events. And that's giving them a tool as well, because you want them to get connected. What steps can you take to help them earn their first commissions check? Now, yes, I am going to try to help you as best as I possibly can, but I need you to be helping yourself. And that's something that I stress immediately. Like, listen, go out and talk to everybody you can. I made a YouTube video about 2 or 3 months ago, and it's basically in your first few weeks of the business. And I send it to all of my new people. The day they sign up, I send it to them, because the misconception to come, I don't know. You need to talk to everybody you know. You need to start looking up before and after pictures. You need to go ahead and set up that ABBV auto shipment. You need to know who's going to be filling these spots on your Ruby chart. Like, talk to your friends and your family and your cousins, and think of your hundreds list, and teach them a little bit about blitzing. What does it mean? All of these things need to happen like immediately. Don't allow your distributor to kind of like fade into weeks have gone by, 3 or 4 weeks have gone by, and they haven't hosted a wrap party. They haven't hosted an online wrap. New people are signing up, and then only reason why I know they're on the team is because they're actively working or posting or anything like that. And no distributors or loyals are being added. Okay, GPI interview part 5. You want to end with giving specific assignments. One thing I've learned is new distributors crave direction, and they respond incredibly well to simple assignments. Okay, what can help a person get over the line? Signing their first customer, signing their first distributor, getting their first commission check, attending a big event, making friends inside the organization, staying connected, proclaiming their intentions to the world. My why. We always do this when we do a big challenge. Tell your why. You need to tell people why you're doing this, and that gives you a little bit more confidence. Getting promoted to a new level. If I have a new distributor who's already told me, hey, my mom and my sister are thinking about joining me, I pull out that executive chart and I show them, listen, you could already promote. Go ahead and write your mom and your sister down right there. That's what we're going for this week. Let's go ahead and get them signed up. That's why we do those charted to Ruby, charted to executive, charted to, because we want you to, like, all we need now is volume, which is even more motivation to keep and continue pushing. Sort of achievement. Now, this is something that we also do. Collages. You're Fast Start qualified. You got your first 4 loyals. You're in the 400 club. Such and such hosted a party. She got the highest, loyal customer enrollment of the entire month. You'll see it from the very top of ambassadors all the way down to brand new distributors. Recognition and incentives of like, hey, congratulations on joining. That's a recognition within itself. When you make that collage for the person who just joined, that's a recognition. There are hundreds of things that can contribute to a person getting over the line. As a sponsor, it's your job to help them get over the line and stay over the line. And the leader really goes away. It's always there. And you just, as a leader, you need to be consistently aware of where your people are. You can continue to encourage them. And now, I think I talked about this in chapter 8. Whenever you've started, did I talk about that already? Whenever you've started and, times get hard, the things that I know will happen is you'll get discouraged. When this happens, what should I do to follow up with you? I don't know if I talked about this in this chapter or the last one, but this is something that distributors, when you join, and me, I'm speaking about myself, I need somebody that's like, Some people don't need that. So it's very important to find out what type of personality they are and what they need to be encouraged. And if they start to back away from that line that we're talking about. Okay. Before I go to the next chapter, did anybody have any questions, comments, concerns? Everybody's on mute. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and say y'all don't have any questions. Right. Chapter is chapter 10. Promote marketing. Meetings make money. It's just that simple. It's very, very, very important. I can't stress it enough to get to an It Works event. If you've never been to one, you're missing out. If you promote, imagine me telling you can double promote. Like, it can really happen. The environment inside of those buildings and inside of those meetings is like electrifying. I can't even describe it. Meeting people one-on-one in small groups or at local bigger events will have a huge impact on the long-term success of any network marketing organization. But one particular type of event is the most powerful, and that is the destination event. So for us, it's going to be conference in February and green carpet in July. So this coming up, our destination event. Everybody goes down to Florida for the event. It's very, very important to get to those events. And I know we sell out. As soon as we post an event, they sell out. It's still important to get there. I can't stress it enough, just to get there. Some try to argue that destination events is dead and the new technology world people aren't. Well, that's a lie, because you guys see ours sell out. There's something magical about getting away from your day-to-day grind and focusing completely on your dreams. Total immersion. It's really, really crazy because you get building or whatever, this stadium where there's people who feel the energy is crazy on stage, telling their story that you can relate to, the tips and tools that they're giving of how they got to the top, and then of course the big announcements that always happen during green carpet and conference that help you, boost you into overdrive of continuing on through the rest of the months. You gain strength from hearing the presentations during the events, and sometimes a person can say something at just the right time in your life, and it can change you forever. For me personally, and I'll just give my little story, I followed Renessa Brown through YouTube all the way up until we got to conference. This is my first conference, and I see her. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's the first millionaire black girl. I thought that was cool. So I had no intentions on actually meeting her, but we ran into her in the inside of a VIP meeting, and we're sitting there. Michael Wade walks down, and she comes. Oh, Angela, I'm glad you joined us. She comes down and she starts talking to us, and I had saw her on stage earlier that day. She, like, hyped up. She's in the Millionaires Club, and I spoke to her, and I'm telling you, the things that she told me that day are still in my mind, because like I said, I'm the type of person that, and when I tell you, she got like, listen, you better come for me. Like, you better come for where I am in this business. And I was just like, I felt like I was gonna fly through the roof. It was crazy, because that's me. That was so me. Like, that was something I would say, like, come on then, if you want to see me, And I think Kenitha has a similar personality too. Like, come on, like, I want to see you come for me. And that was something that I would have never experienced through YouTube. I would have never experienced watching her Periscopes. I'm not even in her downline, so she probably would have never came to none of my rap parties. But being at that event really, really made the difference. Okay. Sometimes the event tickets alone are too expensive. Now, this is something that he's talking about, how to tell the difference between when people are making excuses of why they won't come, and then how he overcame the obstacles. Because what happens as a leader, you find out the more people you get to an event, the faster your business will grow. If I can get 5 people to an event, next year I can bring 15. The next year I'll bring 40. It grows like that. Like, if you can get 2 people to come to the event with you that are on your team, your business will grow. So what happens is, as a leader, you're like, hey, conference is coming up. Hey, you guys, who's going to come? And then everybody's kind of like, well, my kids, the babysitter, the money is too far. I got school, work, my leave. Like, those are all excuses, 100% excuses. Like, honestly, people don't want to hear it, because it's like, oh, well, that's not an excuse. That's my life. No, it's an excuse. It's an excuse. You can't possibly think 100,000 other people don't have kids, a job, car problems, money issues. Like, everybody has that, but the people who really want it bad enough pack a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and catch the Greyhound and bring their kids with them. Like, and that's real, because I've seen it. There were girls that carpooled. Matter of fact, there was a girl that caught a ride with me. I never met her in my life. She just saw where I was coming from North Carolina going to Florida. She said, can I ride with you? Yeah, girl, come on. If you really would just hop in my car and go, yes, I will give you a ride. And she stayed and hung out with us the whole conference. We were there. Never met her in my life. And now we're really good friends, and I talk to her all the time. But that says a lot about a person and what they want for their business. Like, if you will make a way out of no way, you really want this. Because at the end of the day, how long do you want to be making the excuse that my kids, the babysitter, the money, my job, I can't take off? How long do you want to be making that excuse? It's going to be the same thing next year until you actually overcome it. Let's see. Get off my soapbox. Where did it go? Oh, okay. This is really important. I'm going to read this part of the story, and then I'll go on to the rest of the chapter. He says, there's a secret. He's trying to find out what's the secret to being, the person that walks across the stage. And he says, today I know there isn't a secret. And this is the guy that he was talking to. He could have told me anything. He could have said the same thing to me, but instead he had a little compassion, and he gave me an important lesson that serves me this day. He said, Eric, do you see this room? It holds about 2,000 people. We have these events about 3 times a year. Here's the half of these people won't come back. But the other half that does will be making about twice the average of everyone else in the room. Your job is to be in the 1,000 people who come back. And it doesn't stop there. The next event, half of those people won't come back. But the 500 who do will be making 4 times as much as the amount of the people in the room. This continues from event to event. If you continue to come back, you'll end up being among the highest paid people in the room, and eventually you'll even find yourself presenting on stage. Now, other than the fact that this is really happening to me, I can't tell you anymore that this is 100% true. And I know even for Kanitha and Fran, Angela, they've been to events. Every time we've gone to an event, have you not been further in your business? And even every time we go to conference, I'm a different rank. I mean, I know Kanitha is like quadruple promoted since the first time we went to a conference. So this next year, next February, Kanitha, you're gonna be on the stage. You see what I'm saying? So this is not just like, oh well, he's just gassing. No, this is real. You just have to make up in your mind you're gonna be a part of that group of people. One of the things I learned at an It Works You event, or no, One Team One Mission in Germany, the speaker was saying he's one of the top multi-level marketing professionals in Europe, and now he works for It Works. He's not a distributor, but he trains the European distributors on how to be network marketing professionals. And he said he went to his first event. His upline, talked him into it. He said he went to prove him wrong, that it was going to be lame and it wasn't going to make a difference. Went to the event. He had a great time. He learned so much. And he realized the next time he went to an event, he didn't see the same people. Even the ones that were standing on chairs, cheering, crying tears, they weren't back at the event again. And that's what happens. He's like, everyone in this room, and he told us this that day, everyone in this room is not going to be successful with It Works. And he's like, I can't lie to you and tell you all of you guys are going to be millionaires, because it's not true. The difference between the ones that I will see again and the ones that I will see at the top of this business is discipline and no excuses. And that really rung out to me like, I will not be the person that falls off. I refuse. I don't care what happens with my business. I don't care what happens with my upline, downline, sideline. I will not be the person that falls off in this business. I'm going to be determined to get to the top no matter what. And I've made that up in my mind. I live in a whole nother country, and I'm still making an effort. And I got 5 kids. And if y'all think my husband really want to be here while I'm traveling around the world going to conferences, ask him again. But these are some of the sacrifices that I make. And if you really want it bad enough, you will make the same sacrifices. Bottom line, the advice I received all those years ago worked. Because it was ambitious, because I was ambitious and hungry, I figured out a way to outlast the people who were less committed. And just like that, top income earner had told me, my income continued to grow with each event. On the top of that, another strange thing happened. I started to feel different than everyone else. I started to feel like an Iron Man. I started to be proud of the fact that I was still standing when other people lost faith. So if you're more committed than anyone else attending the destination events, that all-important commitment will serve you very well. Once you are fully committed into the next step is to grow the number of people on your team that attend with you. That's what I said. Get people to come with you. Even if it's just a Murfreesboro meeting, like a local meeting at 7 p.m. on a Wednesday. See if you can get 7 people to come with you. You got to get people to these events. You have to get them in the building. They got to see other people than you. It makes it more real, and that's really important. Most people announce the next big event to their groups, sit back and hope people register. Professionals understand that there's a big difference between being a promoter. Okay, here we go. One thing I learned long ago was never to buy someone's excuse. This is the excuses I was telling you about. At least at the beginning. I can't tell you how many people started off by telling you the reasons they couldn't attend the next destination event, only to find out their reason was just an excuse. It wasn't really true. The problem with amateurs is they buy into that first story, and that's the end of it. A person says, I can't get off of work, or I can't afford it, I can't arrange childcare, or who's going to watch my dog? There's a birthday party that weekend. And an amateur says, okay, well, it is what it is. I hope you can make the next one. No. What do you mean? Find a babysitter. Call the nanny service. Let's carpool. How many wraps is it going to take to get to the event? Like, come on. If I am a professional, I'm not going to allow you to just brush me off when I'm telling you, hey, we're all going to go to this big event. It's going to be amazing. And you're like, well, who's going to watch my dog? Who's going to, mow my lawn? Like, really? There's people that you can pay for that. And if you don't have the money, let's sell some wraps. Like, really, let's grind. Like, make this your priority. The professional has a completely different mindset. When they hear an objection, they don't buy the story because they know it's probably not real, or at least it's not really enough. Instead, they work with the person to help them understand the meaning of the and importance of attending the event. They brainstorm with them. So if somebody's telling you, "Oh, well, I can't go to the Nashville event because I don't have a babysitter." All right, let's think about this. What can we do? How many people do we know that can like bring their teenage daughter and we can all give her like $2 each and she can sit in the lobby and color crayons and I'll print off some crayon sheets for the kids. Let's go. Like, do you really want to go or are you just trying to blow me off? I can't tell you how many people I've talked to who have already decided they weren't going to attend the next event. Within 5 minutes, they changed their mind and registered. The lesson here is to tell your story. Don't buy theirs. Think of this skill as if you're a publicly traded company and your stock value is tied directly to how many people you have at each destination event. I make it my business every single time I go to an event to bring people with me. Not just people on my team either, because I feel like It Works events are really important to bring potentials. So I'm talking every time there's an event announced, I bring someone. Every time I try to gather up 2 or 3 of my friends, and I say, we had this big event in Belgium here that we organized with the top leaders in Belgium, and I was one of the speakers for the event. I'm like, hey, can you come? I just need somebody to clap for me. I need support. I need people that are not with my team that'll come and support me. And a lady came. She brought 3 of her coworkers. She owns a salon. She came. All 3 of them want to sign up. Matter of fact, she just signed up last week. So now we got a whole salon getting ready to sign up because I invited them to an event. And that's really, really important. Okay, so that's pretty much the end of chapter 10. I don't know how long that took, but hopefully it wasn't too long. If anybody has any questions, please ask me. I appreciate everyone watching this. If you're watching the recording, you feel free to share it. This is stuff that I definitely want other people to see. Remember your, I already wrote it on my calendar, your GPIs. When you have your brand new distributor, go ahead and write down what you're going to do. This is what I gave my new distributors this week. This is what their assignment was. I wrote it on this giant piece of paper because that's all I had. And it says, for loyal customers, this week, 1 product post each day. Because I'm trying to teach them about Facebook, I'm not going to make them, post 75,000 posts on Facebook each day. I want them to get in the habit of posting about It Works every day. So 1 post a day. 1 training video this week. It could be anything. It could be a YouTube training. It could be what we're doing right now. If they join us, this counts. And it's almost like check the blocks. Did you do your training video this week? It could be in the eSuite. It could be anything. And then the last one I did was a team call. So we have the corporate call. We have our this hangout that we're doing right now call. There's tons of other calls that go on throughout the week. I'm going to do a weekend call with the Belgian distributors. So those are the 4 things that I told my new distributors this week they need to have done. And you know what is so crazy? I never had the guts, and I guess this is weird saying it, but I never had the guts to tell someone, hey, you can get those 4 loyals this week. Go ahead and get them this week. And even with men, I just signed up a guy, and for me, it's a little intimidating to be like, hey, you need to do this week. And he's like super duper high ranking in the military, so I already in my mind have like, Sergeant Major, can you, like, I just don't, I don't have that in me. I'm a really confident person, but there's still things that I struggle with. So I went ahead and just did it. I got over that fear, and I said, hey, this is what I need you to do. And he wrote me back. He was like, I'm on it, boss. He was like, all right, I'm talking to 7 people right now. Can I post the picture you posted? And he was posting on Facebook. I'm like, oh, why didn't I do this before? What was I afraid of? So it's working. I'm really excited. I hope that you guys took something really good from this training, and you get out there and you work on getting your distributors fully connected, give them the tools and the techniques that they need. This week I have a worksheet that I'm going to send everyone, or I'll probably post it, a PDF file that has the getting started when you first sit down with your distributor. What are some of the things that I can help you with? Some of the things that you need to go ahead and do, the first couple of assignments that you give them. I have a print off from it. Rebecca Vandenberg did it. So that's really, really important. and I'll post that for you guys to check. But anywho, if there's no questions, comments, or concerns, I will stop the broadcast. And thank you for watching with us.